Chapter 6, Full of Soup. That night Daddy tucked me into bed. He said that Polly Allen Puffer's brother is full of soup. "There's no such thing as a tooth witch, Jeannie B," he said. "I promise you there isn't. Polly Allen Puffer's brother just made that up to scare Polly Allen. And then Polly Allen said it to scare you." I shook my head. "No, Daddy, no, it's not made up. I know it isn't, because the tooth witch makes sense, that's why," I said. "She makes way more sense than a fairy." Daddy raised his eyebrows. "Why?" he said. "Why does a witch make more sense than a fairy?" "Because," I said, "because the tooth witch likes to chomp the teeth. But the tooth fairy doesn't do anything with the teeth at all, right? So why would she even pay money for them?" Daddy did a little frown. "Well, I don't know exactly," he said, "but I'm sure that she must do something with the teeth, Jeannie B. There are other things to do with teeth besides chomping them, you know." "Like what?" I said. Daddy put his head in his hands. Then he thought and he thought and he thought. And after he got done thinking, he went to get Mother. She came into my room carrying Fussy Ollie. She handed him to Daddy and sat down on my bed. "Daddy said you have another problem about the tooth fairy," she said. I nodded. "Yeah," I said, "because if there's really a fairy, then she has to have a reason to want teeth, right, Mother? She wouldn't just throw them in the garbage, because that doesn't make any sense. Plus, also, it would hurt my feelings." Mother hugged me. "No, Jeannie B, of course she doesn't throw them in the garbage," she said. "I'm sure the fairy does something very special with the teeth." "Yeah? Like what?" I said. Mother ran her tired fingers through her hair. She stood up and walked back and forth on my rug. Here's the picture. Then all of a sudden her face got very bright. "I know. I bet the fairy uses the teeth to make jewelry," she said. At first Daddy and I didn't say any words. We just stared and stared at that woman. "Jewelry?" I finally said. Mother smiled. "Yes, of course," she said. "She probably uses the teeth to make little tooth necklaces and bracelets and cute little toe rings. How does that sound?" I made a sick face. "It sounds repulsive," said Daddy. Mother stopped smiling, and she took Ollie back from Daddy, and she hurried right out of my room. After she left, Daddy finished tucking me into bed. "I'm sorry about that, Jeannie B," he said. "I'm afraid my Ollie has your mother worn to a frazzle these days, but I'm sure she's not right about the jewelry thing." He did a little shiver. "No, certainly she's not," he said. Then before I could ask any more questions about the fairy, he kissed me goodnight and he rushed right out of my room just as fast as Mother. That night I did not put my tooth under my pillow. Also, I did not put it under there the night after that or the night after that, because what do you know? The fairy still did not make sense.